Babe, wake up. Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 just came out. So Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 finally came out yesterday at 11 a.m. CT, January 30th, 2024. And oh my god. You know, my reaction was like this. In a good way. Also, if you haven't played Chapter 3 yet, I highly recommend clicking off this video because this video is gonna contain a lot of spoilers. Like, just way too much for me to put in one video, honestly. Okay, maybe not too much, but you get my point. So, spoilers, y'all. So Chapter 3 begins with the Smiling Critters cartoon that we saw pretty much a few months ago, released by Mob Games on their YouTube channel and in the ARG and stuff like that. It was a pretty sinister one, and, honestly, the implications are still horrifying. But after that, we get to the real stuff. Like, I forgot to pause the video again. But it's immediately interrupted by a news report talking about the incident of catnap dolls and their, like, stuff with the kids and stuff. I'll explain it later, but it's pretty sinister. So the chapter begins with Catnap carrying you and putting you inside some sort of hole or something. I don't know what that is, and I honestly don't want to know. It appears that he's put us in some sort of compactor. He's trying to crush us somehow. And then we escape and then find a phone. This phone has a new character named Ollie. Ollie is a kid, presumably, and he's trying to help us get out of the thing. He explains that Catnap basically, he pretty much is the king of this place. It's his hunting ground, his church, pretty much it's his now. It's his world, his home. So, in order to pretty much defeat him, he wants to help us. And he also knows that Poppy is here to help as well. And then, Elliot Ludwig introduces us to the Playcare. Well, an old version of Elliot Ludwig. I mean, the man is dead. Anyways, he gives us a tiny little tour above, so we can actually see what the locations of Playcare actually look like. There's a school, there's a playhouse, a counselor's office, a toy store, and Home Sweet Home, a place to belong. And Ollie actually gives us a key so that we can access the first area, Home Sweet Home. But then, when we go into Home Sweet Home, there's a lot of red gas that pours out of the walls. Then we run in an endless corridor, not knowing where we're going, until we find a VHS tape. We activate it, and then a nightmarish Huggy steps out of the TV, trying to get to us, trying to kill us and eat us alive. Its twisted fingers crashing, clawing into the walls, trying to grab you. Oh, by the way, yeah, if you hate this character, I do not respect you. I'm sorry. It's just that's what it is. Now, this is a hallucination, so it's not real, sadly, which means the real Huggy may be dead, but still, this is a really good character, honestly. I love this character. This is a great design. I know people hated on him in the trailer, like after the trailer released and he was revealed. Honestly, I don't care. He just looks awesome. Look at him. A twisted version of Huggy, reminding you of that very event that you caused, where you killed him. This is kind of poetic. It's like Huggy taking revenge. Even though he was trying to kill you, you ended up killing him. So now he's coming back to you. Though it's not actually him, though. Which is sad, but whatever. But when we actually get out, Kissy Missy catches us, pounds us to the ground before Poppy stops her. And then we befriend them. Poppy was trying to look for us the entire time anyway, which is why probably Kissy agrees to help them. She gets tense in the Playcare, apparently. I love her so much. Then they just sit there and do nothing until the very end of the chapter. How clever. But then we're instructed to go into the school, which ultimately leads us into finding our next enemy. Say hello to Miss Delight. She is a crazy woman, and I don't know how she's here. Except her jump scare is pretty cool. Watch this. So, I think, I don't know if it's a weeping angel or not, but Miss Delight, not only is her design terrifying, she's a weeping angel. But it's not really that. when you look at her, she still kind of moves, but only when the lights are on, which means this is kind of like a red light, green light situation for the enemy, which is really cool. I really love that concept. If this was a regular chase sequence, I don't think this would be beatable. And look at how pretty she is. Whee! Oh yeah, I almost forgot. We also got Purple Hand and a Flare Gun Hand, which are pretty cool, and I'm sorry I missed about them. The Purple Hand makes you jump on stuff, like really high, and the Flare Gun is a Flare Gun, as a hand. And then you escape the school, and somehow Catnap is standing down there, making a shrine for the prototype. Because, you know, the prototype is technically his, like, overlord or something. He's his lord. He worships him, basically. And he made a shrine out of humans, toys, whatever. You know, pretty messed up stuff. And then the section you go to next is probably the most terrifying, but also the cutest part of the entire game. Using the flare gun, you scare away little smiling critters that try and kill you. Honestly, this makes less sense than Mini Music Man trying to kill you in Security Breach and Ruin. But, hey, they're still very cute, and I want to throw them around. Not to mention, did you know they're also cute? But the real thing we need to focus on here is Dog Day. What did they do to my boy? Look at him. Look at how tortured he's been. He actually explains to us that he also knows that we are helping Poppy. It appears that he's innocent. And apparently he's the last of his crew, aside from Catnap. Which means there probably used to be a lot of smiling critters like this one, who are big and stuff. Which means characters like, I don't know, Bobby Bearhug also had a lot bigger forms like this. And, poor Dog Day, my man literally gets, like, all of the critters climbing inside of him and then controlling him. How messed up is that? And this is how he looks like after that. Look at how messed up he's become. Like those things climb inside of him from his eyes, his mouth, from under his legs. Like, bro, he's clearly alive there, so the fact that they did that is just so, like, god damn, I can't even think of it. It's just so messed up. Please, save my boy for the next chapter. Like, even if he's still in his body, I want to see him in the next chapter, if there is one. Like, the way he crawls around like that is, honestly, it makes me terrified, but it also makes me sad. My boy just got mangled. But then Ollie asks us to go to the final part, the counselor's office, or mansion, or whatever that is. And that is pretty much the final stage of the game. Kind of. This is where we eventually meet Catnap. Yeah, suddenly, out of completely nowhere, Catnap ends up catching us. And because he took our gas mask off, we are now inhaling the gas. Which leads us into probably one of the most interesting parts of the entire game. Right here. This is what we needed, bro. FNAF, you better be taking notes. It sees us, like, in the middle of the road. Reminding us of what happened. With the gas, basically, like making up the fact that Poppy's talking to us. Because it's not actually Poppy, it's someone else. This is a very interesting place. It gives us further context on what happened to these children. We already know that, even before Chapter 3. But man, I never thought it would be this gruesome. Oh yeah, did I forgot to mention, Catnap has a voice? And it's very brief, but, like, it's just so menacing. And kinda hot. Okay, enough weirdness. So, finally, Ollie tasks us, for the final part of this, to go to the gas production zone. Because once again, the power is completely out again. And now, we have to take the key, go back to, we have to put the cord in, and then finally go back to the gas production zone. But then, when we finally do that, Catnap appears. He smokes. He spreads the smoke, and he becomes this thing. This forsaken, monstrous, hideous thing. I swear to God, this thing is just terrifying. Look at it. Like, bro is a skinny skeleton, bro. Now, this is a result of us inhaling the gas mask, which is pretty obvious. I'm pretty sure you didn't know that. Ha ha ha. But then the best thing ever happens. Instead of a generic chase sequence like the first one and the second one, or the chapters, this time it's a FNAF kind of styled minigame where you have to survive and keep Catnap from coming in by releasing some steam. This can be done in different ways. He also comes from the top. Why, I don't know how he got there, but it's Catnap. I mean, you can't question him, I guess. So you have to survive for like, I don't know, nearly 200 seconds. Which should be around, okay. Definitely not an hour. That's not it. 6 minutes? I don't know. It's kind of like a FNAF style minigame, so it could be a bit longer. I don't know how much, but you're gonna stay there anyway. One problem that a lot of people have with Chapter 3 is that Catnap was kind of underutilized. You've seen right now that Catnap hasn't really appeared that much until the very end, and he's only a threat at the very end. But honestly, not only do I think it's fine that he's underutilized, because I do think looming threat is not as good as a stalker, or maybe the other way around, but, you know, stalking is good, and then coming to attack right now is good. But honestly, this entire section makes up for it. Sure, it's hard and not well explained, but when you know it, it's gonna be fun, pretty cool, and satisfying. And you have not seen the ending yet. Buckle up, Buttercup, because the ending literally shows us electrocuting Catnap, and then he got set on fire. My boy just explodes there. God. Okay, so he gets burned, but then somehow the prototype comes from the ceiling. Catnap's a bit scared, but then he offers him a hand, and he goes up, and guess what he does next? Oh my god. Seriously though, this is still bone chilling. Did Catnap let himself sacrifice? Did he take a sacrifice to the prototype? Did he know he did something wrong? Like, bro just sacrificed himself. Or who knows, maybe the prototype betrayed him. I mean, it is a prototype. Who knows? This is very gruesome. And then finally, we meet up with Poppy, and we see the tape, The Hour of Joy. This is what started it all. All the toys on some time, in a few years ago, they all attacked every single employee. All the toys grouped together. Huggy Wuggy, Mommy Longlegs in the game station. Heck, even Catnap in the Playcare. And all of the other smaller toys from the Smiling Critters, the ones you said you saw a few minutes ago, and Bunzo and, Brawn, all those toys. Even Miss Delight. All of the toys killed all the employees. Heck, even Kissy Missy kills a bunch of people. Like, god damn. Also, we get to see Boxy Boo here, which is really cool. And this specific part genuinely is the most terrifying part of any Poppy Playtime thing ever. Just seeing all this with the music, it's just so terrifying. And then Poppy gives a big lore drop. She witnessed all that. She heard all the screams. What's going on? What is that thing? Why is this happening? And then she explains that Prototype has to die. Because it's his doing. He's the one doing all this. Whether it's Elliot Ludwig or not, all this slaughter and senseless just killing is not the answer. It doesn't fix anything, and it didn't fix anything. It never fixed anything. So now Prototype has to die. But then Kissy Missy and Poppy come back a bit. Then Poppy comes down to us on the elevator, but then, for some reason, we hear screams. Kissy Missy is being captured. I don't know if it's the Prototype, or Huggy, or whoever, but no. Whoever it is, God, please save my girl. She did not deserve any of this. She literally just wanted freedom. And that was chapter 3. Holy shit. Okay, so final thoughts on chapter 3. I thought it was actually peak. And I'm not saying this because I love the word peak. No. I genuinely think it's objectively and subjectively an amazing, fantastic game. It's not just amazing, it's not just fantastic, it's peak all around. Literally every single aspect. Like, it just has so many improvements over the other two. Like, look, I like the other ones. I like chapter 1 and 2. But they were not, like, the best. They were great games, but I don't think they were, like, I don't know, as fun, or as scary, or as good looking as this one. The quality, the jump in quality they took is insane. The gameplay, for example, the puzzles, while, like, they are a bit more confusing than the other ones, they still take advantage of the graph pack in a lot of ways, and I really love that. And the horror, oh my god, look guys, I know I'm not supposed to be saying this at the end of the video, but I must confess, I have not played the game. You can kill me in the comments if you want to, but no. I'm sorry, I did not play the game, but I'm telling you, even if I was watching a playthrough of Super Horror Bro, maybe. Oh yeah, by the way, I got the gameplay from him. I'm gonna leave a link to his channel. Even if that was the case, like, even if I wasn't playing the game, I still got terrified. I got spooked a ton of times. Like, goddamn. How do you do that? How, watching a video of someone else playing a game and you get scared? How do you do that? I thought the person himself was gonna get scared. But anyways, the ending and story is freaking fantastic. I can't say anything else about it. It's just built different. It's that good. What else? Catnap, I know he's a bit underutilized, but he's executed really well. Like, really, really well. The fact that he's a thing that watches you at every turn, watches you and stalks you wherever you go, and the fact that he turned out to be Ollie, somehow, he was Ollie. It's another Gregory Mimic situation, bro. Let's go, it's a Grimmick situation. Okay, but they beat out the OG somehow. That's so good. And the ending, genuinely, I was in shock. I don't know how they did that, but somehow, yeah, they did it. It also gave us a lot of answers. Okay, and that's enough for me out of me today. So, I just wanted to make this quick video because, yeah, I want to. Okay, thank you all, and goodbye. Rest in peace, dog.